Dealing with disrespect is a universal experience. Whether it's from a colleague undermining your ideas in a meeting, a friend dismissing your feelings, or even a family member who trivializes your achievements, the sting of disrespect is hard to ignore. Imagine this. You're in a room full of people, excited to share your thoughts, but as you speak, someone interrupts with a dismissive comment. Laughter erupts, and suddenly your voice feels small. That moment stays with you, replaying in your mind, shaking your confidence. Why does disrespect cut so deeply? It's because respect is tied to our sense of self-worth. When others disrespect us, it can feel like an attack on our identity. But here's the empowering truth. Their disrespect says more about them than it does about you. This video will not only explore 8 strategies to handle disrespect, but also equip you with tools rooted in Stoic wisdom and practical experience. These aren't feel-good platitudes. They're actionable steps to reclaim your dignity and demand the respect you deserve. Set clear boundaries. What does setting boundaries mean? Setting boundaries is the practice of defining acceptable and unacceptable behaviors in your relationships. It's not about being mean or harsh. It's about creating a space where mutual respect thrives. Think of boundaries as invisible fences that protect your mental and emotional well-being. Without them, people may unintentionally or intentionally trample on your peace. For example, if a colleague constantly interrupts you during meetings, the absence of boundaries allows this behavior to persist. Setting a boundary might mean clearly stating, "I'd appreciate it if you let me finish speaking before adding your thoughts." Why boundaries are essential boundaries are crucial for several reasons. Protecting your mental health. They prevent emotional exhaustion caused by constant disrespect. Enhancing relationships. Clear boundaries help people understand how to treat you, fostering healthier interactions. Building self-respect. When you set boundaries, you affirm your own worth and show others that you value yourself. Common misconceptions about boundaries. Misconception 1. Boundaries are rude. Many believe that setting boundaries will make them seem unkind. In truth, boundaries are acts of kindness to yourself and others, as they clarify expectations. Misconception 2. Boundaries push people away. Genuine relationships thrive on mutual respect. Setting boundaries strengthens bonds by eliminating misunderstandings. Personal story. The turning point. There was a time when I struggled to set boundaries, especially with a close friend who constantly called me late at night to vent about their problems. While I valued the friendship, the late-night calls disrupted my sleep and left me drained for work the next day. One night, after a particularly stressful day, I finally mustered the courage to say, "I care about you and want to support you, but I can't take calls after 10 p.m. anymore. Let's talk earlier in the evening instead." To my surprise, my friend respected this boundary and adjusted their behavior. Not only did this improve my well-being, but it also strengthened our friendship. How to set boundaries. Effectively identify the behavior that bothers you. Reflect on what specific actions make you uncomfortable. For example, a colleague who frequently delegates their work to you without asking. Communicate clearly and calmly. Use I statements to express your feelings without sounding accusatory. For instance, "I feel overwhelmed when extra work is given to me without prior notice. In the future, please ask me first." Be assertive, not aggressive. Assertiveness is about standing your ground without being confrontational. Avoid aggressive language, which can escalate tensions. Reiterate when necessary. Some people may test your boundaries initially. Consistently reinforce them to show that you mean what you say. Set consequences. If someone continues to disrespect your boundaries, be prepared to act. For instance, limit interactions or involve a third party if needed. The Stoic perspective on boundaries. The Stoics valued self-respect and emotional detachment from others' actions. Seneca once said, "Associate with those who make you better, and welcome those whom you can improve." The process is mutual. By setting boundaries, you align with this wisdom, ensuring that your relationships uplift rather than drain you. Historical example: boundaries in action. One of the most famous examples of setting boundaries comes from Alexander Hamilton, one of the founding fathers of the United States. Despite his close friendships and alliances, Hamilton was known for setting clear boundaries in his political dealings. When others tried to manipulate him or pull him into unnecessary conflicts, he firmly but respectfully declined, focusing instead on his principles and goals. His ability to draw these lines allowed him to maintain his integrity, even in the face of intense political pressure. The emotional impact of boundaries. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're not used to standing up for yourself. You might fear rejection or confrontation. However, the discomfort is temporary, while the benefits are long-lasting. You'll feel a sense of empowerment. Your self-esteem will grow as you honor your needs. Relationships that respect your boundaries will flourish. Real-life example: workplace boundaries. Consider a manager named Sarah who had a team member, Mike, who frequently interrupted during team meetings. This disrupted the flow of discussion and made others hesitant to share their ideas. Sarah decided to address the issue. She spoke to Mike privately and said, "I've noticed that you often jump in when others are speaking. It's important for everyone to have their turn to share. Please wait until someone finishes before adding your thoughts." Mike initially felt defensive, but Sarah's calm and respectful tone helped him understand the impact of his behavior. Over time, the team dynamic improved, with more productive and inclusive discussions. Tips for maintaining boundaries. Stay consistent. Once you set a boundary, stick to it. Inconsistency can confuse others and weaken the boundary. Practice saying no. Politely decline requests that don't align with your priorities. For example, "I can't take on this project right now, but I appreciate you thinking of me." Seek support. If someone resists your boundaries, share your experience with a trusted friend or mentor for advice and encouragement. Reassess periodically. As relationships evolve, your boundaries may need adjustment. Regularly evaluate what's working and what's not. The ripple effect of boundaries. Setting boundaries doesn't just benefit you, it positively impacts those around you. By modeling respectful behavior, you inspire others to set and honor boundaries in their own lives. This creates a ripple effect of mutual respect and understanding. Closing thought. Respect starts with you. Remember, people will treat you the way you allow them to. By setting clear boundaries, you're not only protecting your peace but also teaching others how to value and respect you. Boundaries are acts of self-love, and they pave the way for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Would you rather tolerate discomfort for a moment or resentment for a lifetime? The choice is yours. Don't engage in power struggles. Understanding power struggles. Power struggles often occur when someone attempts to assert dominance or control over you, using disrespect as a weapon. These situations can arise in various contexts, a colleague undermining your ideas in a meeting, a friend who constantly tries to one-up you in conversations, a family member who manipulates through guilt or criticism. In these moments, the other person's goal is often not to resolve an issue, but to provoke an emotional reaction. Reacting emotionally, whether through anger, defensiveness, or frustration, gives them exactly what they want: control over your emotions. Why people engage in power struggles. To effectively avoid these traps, it's essential to understand the motivations behind them. Insecurity. Many people who engage in power struggles feel insecure about their own position. By diminishing others, they temporarily boost their self-esteem. Need for control. Some individuals feel powerful when they can manipulate or provoke others. Habitual behavior. For others, disrespect and power plays are ingrained habits they may not even recognize. By understanding these motivations, you can depersonalize their behavior, making it easier to disengage. Personal experience. A heated exchange at work. Several years ago, I had a colleague, Tom, who would constantly interrupt me in meetings, attempting to dominate discussions. Initially, I tried to argue back, but this only escalated the situation, with both of us becoming defensive. It wasn't until I decided to stop reacting emotionally that the dynamic shifted. One day, when Tom interrupted me, I paused, took a deep breath, and calmly said, "I'd like to finish my thought, and then I'd be happy to hear your input." This simple, composed response caught him off guard and diffused the tension. Over time, he stopped interrupting as he realized his behavior wouldn't provoke a reaction. The Stoic approach to power struggles. Stoic philosophers emphasized the importance of focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and emotions, while letting go of what you cannot, such as others' behavior. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In the context of power struggles, this means not allowing someone else's behavior to dictate your mood or actions, maintaining composure regardless of provocation, choosing logical, measured responses over emotional outbursts. Practical strategies to avoid the power struggles. 1. Stay calm and composed. The first and most important step is to remain calm. Emotional reactions fuel power struggles, while composure disarms the other person. How to stay calm. Take a deep breath before responding. Remind yourself that their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. Visualize a barrier between their words and your emotions. Example: if someone raises their voice during an argument, maintain a steady tone and respond with, "I'm happy to discuss this when we can both remain calm." 2. Refuse to engage. Disrespectful individuals often try to bait you into an argument. By refusing to engage, you deny them the satisfaction of controlling the interaction. Steps to disengage. Politely acknowledge their comment without reacting emotionally. For example, "I see your perspective," or "That's an interesting point." If necessary, walk away or change the subject. Real-life example. A manager dealing with a combative employee might say, "Let's revisit this discussion after we've both had some time to reflect." 3. Use logical responses. Logic is a powerful tool for de-escalating power struggles. Emotional arguments often escalate, while logical statements shift the focus back to the issue at hand. Example in action. Disrespectful comment. "Your idea is ridiculous." Logical response. "What specifically about my idea do you think could be improved?" This approach forces the other person to focus on constructive criticism rather than personal attacks. 4. Know when to walk away. Sometimes, the best way to avoid a power struggle is to remove yourself from the situation altogether. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness. It's an assertion of self-respect. Example: if a heated argument with a friend spirals out of control, you might say, "I value our friendship too much to argue like this. Let's talk when we're both calmer." Historical context. Mahatma Gandhi exemplified this principle through his philosophy of nonviolence. By refusing to engage in power struggles with colonial authorities, he maintained moral high ground and inspired millions. The emotional impact of avoiding power struggles. Avoiding power struggles doesn't just preserve your peace, it also strengthens your emotional resilience. Over time, you'll notice increased confidence. Knowing you can handle disrespect without losing control boosts self-assurance. Improved relationships. By refusing to engage in petty conflicts, you foster healthier dynamics with others. Inner peace. Letting go of the need to win frees you from unnecessary stress. A real-life story. Leadership through composure. Consider Jane, a project manager who faced constant criticism from a senior colleague. Instead of reacting defensively, Jane adopted a calm, logical approach. Whenever her colleague criticized her work in meetings, Jane would respond with, "Thank you for the feedback. Could you provide specific examples so I can address the concerns?" This tactic disarmed her critic, forcing them to engage constructively. Over time, their interactions became more respectful. Practical exercises to master emotional control meditation. Spend 5 to 10 minutes daily practicing mindfulness to strengthen your ability to remain calm under pressure. Visualization. Before engaging with a challenging person, visualize yourself handling the interaction with composure. Self-reflection. After each encounter, evaluate how you managed your emotions and identify areas for improvement. Closing thought. Control what you can. Avoiding power struggles isn't about ignoring disrespect. It's about choosing how you respond. By staying calm, refusing to engage, and focusing on logical solutions, you reclaim your power and protect your peace. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By embodying dignity and composure, you rise above the conflict and reinforce your self-worth. Limit exposure to toxic people. Understanding toxic relationships. Toxic individuals are those who consistently drain your energy, undermine your confidence, and disrespect your boundaries. They can be found in every sphere of life, at work, in friendships, or even within family circles. Limiting your exposure to toxic people is not about holding grudges or cutting ties indiscriminately. It's about protecting your peace, prioritizing your mental health, and fostering environments where you can thrive. Signs of a toxic person. Recognizing toxicity is the first step in limiting its impact on your life. Common traits include chronic negativity. They focus on problems rather than solutions, spreading pessimism. Manipulative behavior. They use guilt, blame, or emotional blackmail to control others. Disrespectful communication. They belittle, interrupt, or dismiss your thoughts and feelings. Lack of accountability. They rarely apologize or accept responsibility for their actions. Toxicity isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's subtle, like a friend who constantly complains without acknowledging your support, or a coworker who subtly undermines your contributions. Identifying these behaviors helps you take proactive steps to safeguard your well-being. The importance of limiting exposure. limiting your exposure to toxic individuals is not selfish. It's a vital act of self-care. Here's why. Emotional well-being. Constant negativity or disrespect erodes your confidence and leaves you emotionally drained. Mental clarity. Removing toxic influences helps you focus on your goals and aspirations without unnecessary distractions. Physical health. Toxic relationships have been linked to increased stress, which can manifest as headaches, fatigue, or even more severe health issues. As the saying goes, you cannot pour from an empty cup. To give your best to others and achieve personal growth, you must first protect yourself. Personal story: breaking free. A friend of mine, Lisa, had a coworker who constantly complained about their job, spread gossip, and made snide remarks during team meetings. Initially, Lisa tried to help, offering advice and encouragement. However, the coworker's negativity only intensified, leaving Lisa stressed and unmotivated. One day, Lisa decided to limit her interactions. She began responding to the coworker's complaints with neutral, non-committal statements like, "I see," or "That's interesting." She avoided engaging in gossip and redirected her energy toward building positive relationships with other colleagues. Over time, Lisa noticed a significant improvement in her mood and productivity. Practical steps to limit exposure to toxic people. 1. Identify the extent of interaction. Assess how frequently and in what contexts you interact with the toxic person. Are they a family member you see weekly, a coworker you interact with daily, or a friend who calls you sporadically? Understanding the scope of the relationship helps you strategize effectively. 2. Set boundaries. Clearly define what behaviors you will and won't tolerate. For example, at work. If a colleague constantly interrupts you, firmly state, "I'd like to finish my point before hearing your thoughts." With friends or family. Politely decline invitations or conversations that you know will be draining, saying, "I'm not available right now, but let's catch up another time." Boundaries are essential for reducing unnecessary interactions and ensuring that when contact does occur, it's on your terms. 3. Choose your interactions wisely. Whenever possible, limit contact to necessary or positive interactions. For example, at work, keep conversations with a toxic colleague strictly professional. With a negative friend, steer conversations toward neutral or uplifting topics. If you can't avoid contact, make a conscious effort to minimize its impact by focusing on areas of common ground that are less likely to trigger negativity. 4. Build emotional distance. Even if you can't physically avoid the toxic person, you can create emotional distance by detaching yourself from their behavior. This involves practicing emotional detachment. Remind yourself that their behavior reflects their issues, not your worth. Avoiding over-involvement. Resist the urge to fix their problems or absorb their negativity. Example: a family member may always criticize your choices. Instead of engaging in arguments, respond with a neutral, non-defensive statement like, "Thank you for sharing your perspective." 5. Gradually reduce contact. In cases where someone's toxicity is severe and persistent, consider gradually reducing contact. This might include declining invitations to social gatherings where the person will be present, taking longer to respond to texts or calls, subtly signaling a need for space, transitioning the relationship into a less prominent role in your life. The Stoic perspective on toxic relationships. The Stoics emphasized the importance of surrounding yourself with people who elevate you. Seneca famously wrote, "Associate with those who make you better, and welcome those whom you can improve. The process is mutual. Toxic relationships, by contrast, inhibit growth and pull you into unnecessary conflicts. Marcus Aurelius advised, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Spending time with toxic individuals detracts from this privilege, making it harder to appreciate life's blessings. Real-life example. Historical perspective. Consider the story of Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States. Roosevelt faced significant opposition during his political career, often from people within his own party. Instead of engaging in endless conflicts, he focused his energy on building alliances with individuals who shared his vision. By limiting exposure to detractors and concentrating on supportive relationships, Roosevelt achieved transformative progress, such as the establishment of national parks and the Panama Canal. The emotional benefits of limiting exposure. When you distance yourself from toxic individuals, you create space for personal growth and positive relationships. Benefits include reduced stress. Less exposure to negativity means fewer emotional ups and downs. Increased confidence. Without constant criticism, you can focus on your strengths. Greater fulfillment. Surrounding yourself with supportive people enhances your sense of purpose and joy. Practical exercise. The relationship audit. Take 10 minutes to reflect on the people in your life and categorize them into 3 groups. Positive influences, those who uplift and inspire you. Neutral influences, those who have little impact on your energy or emotions. Toxic influences, those who drain or harm you. Focus on nurturing relationships in the first group, maintaining boundaries with the second, and limiting contact with the third. Revisit this audit regularly to ensure your circle remains healthy. Closing thought. Choose your circle wisely. Limiting exposure to toxic people is not about cutting others out indiscriminately. It's about choosing to prioritize your well-being. As the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. By surrounding yourself with supportive, positive individuals, you create an environment where you can thrive emotionally, mentally, and physically. Take control of your relationships today by identifying the toxic influences in your life and taking steps to minimize their impact. Remember, protecting your peace is not just a right, it's a responsibility to yourself. Respond with silence. The power of silence. Silence is a powerful tool, often underestimated in the face of disrespect or conflict. While words can escalate a situation, silence can de-escalate it, providing clarity and control. Silence is not passive. It is a deliberate choice to conserve your energy, maintain your dignity, and refuse to engage in meaningless conflicts. In a world that often values quick comebacks and verbal dominance, choosing silence sends a strong message. I won't lower myself to this level. Why silence is effective. 1. It disarms the other person. Disrespectful people often seek a reaction. Whether they aim to provoke anger, defensiveness, or frustration, their goal is to elicit an emotional response. When you remain silent, you deny them that satisfaction. Your silence unsettles them, forcing them to confront their own behavior without your input to deflect attention. 2. It demonstrates emotional control. By responding with silence, you showcase emotional resilience. You're not allowing someone else's words or actions to dictate your mood or behavior. This self-control not only protects your peace but also commands respect. 3. It provides space for reflection. Silence creates a pause, allowing both you and the other person to reflect. For you, it's a moment to assess the situation and decide your next step. For them, it's an uncomfortable reminder of the weight of their words. Personal story: the strength in silence. Several years ago, I was in a meeting where a colleague mocked one of my ideas in front of the entire team. My initial impulse was to defend myself, but instead, I chose silence. I paused, made direct eye contact with the individual, and said nothing. The silence was palpable. The rest of the team grew visibly uncomfortable, and the colleague, realizing the inappropriateness of their comment, quickly backtracked and tried to explain themselves. My silence had achieved what words couldn't. It highlighted their disrespect and shifted the dynamic without me saying a word. How to use silence. Effectively, one pause before responding. When someone disrespects you, your immediate reaction might be to defend yourself or retaliate. Instead, take a moment to pause. This brief silence helps you regain composure and ensures that your response, if any, is thoughtful rather than emotional. 2. Let the silence speak. In some cases, no response is the best response. For example, if someone makes a rude comment, let the silence hang in the air. When someone tries to provoke an argument, remain silent and walk away. 3. Combine silence with body language. Silence is most effective when paired with confident body language. Maintain a calm demeanor, make eye contact, and hold a neutral or slightly amused expression. This communicates that you are in control, not intimidated. 4. Use silence as a boundary. Silence can be a way of setting boundaries without confrontation. For instance, if someone repeatedly interrupts you, stop speaking and look at them. Your silence highlights their behavior, often prompting them to adjust without you having to say a word. Stoic wisdom on silence. The Stoics were strong advocates for silence as a form of strength and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You always have the option of having no opinion. There's never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control." Silence, in this context, is a tool for maintaining inner peace. Epictetus added, "Keep silence for the most part, and speak only when you must, and then briefly." This underscores the value of measured responses, ensuring that when you do speak, your words carry weight. Real-life examples of silence in action 1. Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi famously practiced silence as a form of protest. His day of silence every week allowed him to reflect, recharge, and communicate non-verbally. In confrontational situations, his silence often disarmed opponents and strengthened his moral stance. 2. Professional context. A manager dealing with a disrespectful employee might choose silence to let the weight of the employee's words settle. For example, employee: "This task is pointless and a waste of time." Manager: pauses, looks at the employee, remains silent. This silence often prompts the employee to reconsider their tone or explain themselves more constructively. The emotional benefits of silence. 1. Reduces stress. Engaging in verbal battles can be emotionally draining. Silence allows you to conserve your energy and avoid unnecessary conflict. 2. Enhances clarity. When you stay silent, you give yourself the space to think clearly. This clarity helps you decide whether the situation warrants a response or if silence is sufficient. 3. Protects your self-worth. Responding to disrespect can sometimes feel like validating it. Silence, on the other hand, reaffirms your self-respect by showing that the other person's words don't deserve your attention. When to use silence 1. During petty arguments. Not every disagreement is worth your time. If someone is arguing over trivial matters or being intentionally provocative, silence can diffuse the situation. 2. In response to criticism. If criticism is unwarranted or delivered disrespectfully, silence can serve as a shield. For example, critic, your idea is ridiculous. Silent response. Maintain eye contact, take a breath, and move on without acknowledging the comment. 3. To de-escalate conflict. In heated situations, silence can prevent further escalation. It signals that you're not interested in continuing the argument. Exercises to master silence 1. The pause practice. Throughout your day, practice pausing for 5 to 10 seconds before responding in conversations. This builds the habit of thoughtful silence. 2. Silent reflection. Set aside 10 minutes daily to sit in silence. Reflect on situations where you reacted impulsively and consider how silence could have changed the outcome. The non-reaction challenge. The next time someone disrespects or provokes you, challenge yourself to respond with silence. Observe the impact it has on the situation. The ripple effect of silence. Silence doesn't just affect the immediate interaction, it influences how others perceive and treat you in the future. When you consistently choose silence over emotional outbursts, people respect your composure and self-control. You set a precedent that you won't engage in petty conflicts. You inspire others to adopt similar approaches in their own lives. Closing thought. The strength in stillness. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It is a demonstration of strength, wisdom, and self-respect. By choosing silence, you control the narrative, protect your peace, and command respect without uttering a single word. As the Stoics remind us, silence is a lesson of its own. The next time someone disrespects you, let your silence speak volumes. It's often the loudest, most profound response you can give. Don't take it personally. Why disrespect feels personal. When someone disrespects us, it's natural to feel hurt. Disrespect often strikes at the core of our identity, triggering questions like, "What did I do wrong?" or "Am I not good enough?" These feelings stem from our innate need for acceptance and validation. However, the truth is that disrespect often has little to do with us and everything to do with the person delivering it. Understanding this is the key to breaking free from the emotional hold of others' actions. By recognizing that their behavior reflects their own insecurities, frustrations, or unresolved issues, you can detach your self-worth from their opinions. Why people disrespect others. Disrespectful behavior is rarely about the person on the receiving end. Instead, it's often driven by internal struggles within the person exhibiting it. Projection of insecurities. They may feel inadequate and try to mask it by putting others down. Unresolved anger or frustration. Personal hardships can make people lash out at those around them. Need for control or power. Disrespect can be a way to assert dominance in a situation. Habitual behavior. Some people have learned disrespectful tendencies over time and aren't even conscious of their actions. When you understand these underlying causes, it becomes easier to depersonalize their behavior and maintain your emotional balance. Personal story. A lesson in detachment. Several years ago, I worked with a manager who seemed to criticize every aspect of my work. No matter how much effort I put in, it was never enough. At first, I internalized their feedback, believing I was incompetent. But over time, I noticed that this manager treated everyone the same way, even those who consistently performed at high levels. This realization was liberating. I began to see their criticism not as a reflection of my abilities, but as a manifestation of their own dissatisfaction and high stress levels. Instead of taking their words personally, I focused on doing my best and seeking feedback from others. This shift in perspective not only improved my confidence but also allowed me to maintain a professional relationship with the manager. The Stoic perspective: detaching from others' opinions. The Stoics were masters of emotional detachment, teaching that our value comes from within and not from external validation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This principle applies directly to disrespect. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control how you respond. By choosing not to take it personally, you reclaim your power and protect your peace. Steps to stop taking disrespect personally. 1. Shift your perspective. Remind yourself that others' actions reflect their character, not your value. Their disrespect says more about their struggles than it does about your worth. Example: a friend makes a snide remark about your career choice. Instead of feeling hurt, consider that their comment may stem from their own dissatisfaction or jealousy. 2. Practice emotional detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you recognize that their behavior isn't about you. Visualize their words bouncing off an invisible shield around you, leaving you unaffected. Exercise. When someone disrespects you, pause and silently say to yourself, "This is not about me." This simple affirmation helps create emotional distance. 3. Reframe the situation. Instead of viewing disrespect as an attack, see it as an opportunity to practice patience and resilience. Reframing helps shift your focus from hurt to growth. Example: if a coworker dismisses your idea in a meeting, think, "This is a chance to strengthen my confidence and articulate my thoughts more clearly next time." 4. Seek objective feedback. If you feel unsure whether the disrespect has merit, seek feedback from someone you trust. Often, an outside perspective can help you see the situation more clearly. Example: after receiving harsh criticism, talk to a mentor or colleague. Their reassurance or constructive feedback can validate your efforts and provide clarity. Real-life historical example: Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the most influential figures in history, faced immense criticism during her time as First Lady. Her activism and outspoken nature often drew harsh and unfair comments from the media and political figures. Instead of letting these attacks define her, she famously said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Roosevelt's ability to detach from others' opinions allowed her to focus on her mission, becoming a powerful advocate for human rights and social change. Her story is a testament to the strength that comes from not taking disrespect personally. Practical tips to internalize detachment. 1. Build a strong sense of self-worth. When you know your value, others' opinions lose their power over you. Engage in activities that reinforce your confidence, such as pursuing hobbies, achieving goals, or practicing self-care. 2. Journal your experiences. Writing about instances of disrespect can help you process your emotions and gain perspective. Ask yourself, what might have caused their behavior? How can I respond differently next time? Journaling helps transform negative experiences into learning opportunities. 3. Surround yourself with positive people. Limit exposure to those who consistently disrespect you and invest in relationships that uplift and support you. A strong support system reinforces your sense of worth and provides a buffer against negativity. The emotional benefits of not taking it personally reduced. Stress. Detaching from others' behavior frees you from unnecessary emotional turmoil. Improved relationships. When you stop personalizing others' actions, conflicts are less likely to escalate. Greater confidence. Recognizing your value independent of others' opinions strengthens your self-esteem. Enhanced resilience. Over time, detachment becomes a habit, making it easier to navigate future challenges. Exercises to practice. Not taking things personally. 1. The 3 questions method. When someone disrespects you, ask yourself, what might have caused their behavior? Does this truly reflect on me? How can I respond in a way that maintains my peace? These questions help depersonalize the situation and focus on constructive responses. 2. The mirror exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and repeat affirmations such as, I am worthy of respect. Others' opinions do not define me. I choose peace over conflict. This exercise reinforces your self-worth and builds emotional resilience. Closing thought. Reclaim your power. Taking disrespect personally gives away your power to others. By choosing detachment, you protect your peace, preserve your confidence, and demonstrate self-respect. Remember Eleanor Roosevelt's words, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." The next time someone disrespects you, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is not about me. By mastering this mindset, you'll navigate disrespect with grace, strength, and unwavering self-worth. Don't take it personally. Why taking things personally feels so natural. When someone disrespects or criticizes us, it's common to feel a sting. After all, we often tie our self-worth to how others treat or perceive us. Whether it's a sharp comment from a friend or a dismissive attitude from a colleague, disrespect can cut deeply because it feels like an attack on our value as individuals. But here's the liberating truth. Disrespect is rarely about you. It's usually about the other person, their insecurities, frustrations, or unresolved issues. By learning to not take things personally, you can protect your emotional well-being and maintain control over your reactions. Why do people disrespect others? 1. Projection of their insecurities. Many people project their own fears and inadequacies onto others. When they feel inferior, they compensate by tearing others down to boost their own self-image. 2. Unresolved emotional pain. Anger, frustration, or disappointment in their own lives can make people lash out. Their behavior often reflects internal struggles rather than the situation at hand. 3. Habitual behavior. Some individuals have developed disrespectful tendencies over time, perhaps due to their upbringing or social environment. This behavior is often unconscious and not specifically targeted at you. Need for power or control disrespect can be a strategy for asserting dominance in relationships or situations, especially by those who equate power with belittling others. When you understand these underlying causes, it's easier to depersonalize their behavior and see it as a reflection of them, not you. Personal story. A hard lesson in letting go. Years ago, I had a supervisor who would routinely belittle my work during team meetings. No matter how much effort I put into my tasks, their feedback was harsh and dismissive. At first, I internalized their words, thinking, maybe I'm just not good enough. But over time, I noticed they treated everyone the same way, regardless of performance. That realization was a turning point. I began to see their behavior as a projection of their own dissatisfaction rather than an accurate critique of my abilities. I stopped taking their words personally and instead sought constructive feedback from other colleagues. This shift not only restored my confidence, but also allowed me to approach the situation with a sense of calm detachment. The Stoic perspective: detaching from others' opinions. The Stoics were champions of emotional resilience and detachment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, reactions, and choices, while letting go of external judgments. By not taking disrespect personally, you align with this wisdom. You reclaim your power and refuse to let others dictate your emotional state. How to stop taking things personally. 1. Recognize that it's not about you. When someone disrespects you, pause and remind yourself, this is about them, not me. Their words or actions often stem from their own issues, not your behavior or worth. Example: a friend dismisses your achievements. Instead of feeling hurt, consider that their reaction might stem from envy or their own unfulfilled goals. 2. Practice emotional detachment. Detachment doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means creating space between your emotions and the situation. Visualize their words as arrows bouncing off a protective shield around you. Exercise. When faced with disrespect, pause and silently say to yourself, their behavior reflects them, not me. This affirmation can help ground you in the moment. 3. Reframe the situation. Reframing involves shifting your perspective on an event. Instead of viewing disrespect as an attack, see it as an opportunity to practice resilience and self-control. Example: if a coworker dismisses your ideas, think, this is a chance to strengthen my confidence and articulate my ideas more clearly next time. 4. Seek objective feedback. If you're unsure whether the disrespect has merit, seek feedback from a trusted friend or mentor. Their perspective can help you see the situation more clearly and separate valid criticism from unwarranted negativity. 5. Focus on your strengths. Cultivate a strong sense of self-worth by recognizing your unique skills, qualities, and achievements. When you're confident in your value, others' opinions lose their power over you. Exercise. Keep a journal where you list your daily accomplishments, no matter how small. Reflecting on your strengths reinforces your confidence. Real-life historical example. Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the most influential figures of the 20th century, faced relentless criticism throughout her life. As First Lady of the United States, she was often mocked for her appearance, her activism, and her progressive views. Despite this, she remained steadfast in her mission, famously saying, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." By refusing to take criticism personally, Roosevelt focused on her values and achievements, becoming a champion for human rights and social justice. Her story reminds us that others' opinions only have as much power as we give them. The benefits of not taking things personally. 1. Emotional freedom. Letting go of others' judgments liberates you from unnecessary stress and anxiety. 2. Improved relationships. When you stop personalizing others' behavior, conflicts are less likely to escalate, fostering healthier interactions. 3. Greater self-confidence. Detaching from negativity allows you to focus on your strengths and accomplishments. 4. Enhanced resilience. By practicing emotional detachment, you become better equipped to handle future challenges with grace and composure. Exercises to cultivate detachment. 1. The 3 questions method. When someone disrespects you, ask yourself, what might have caused their behavior? Does this truly reflect on me? How can I respond in a way that preserves my peace? 2. Daily affirmations. Start your day with affirmations like, I am worthy of respect and kindness. Others' opinions do not define me. I choose peace over conflict. Repeating these affirmations helps build a strong mental foundation. 3. The mirror exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and say, I control how I feel, not others. I am confident in my worth. This exercise reinforces your self-belief and builds emotional resilience. Closing thought. Reclaim your power. Taking disrespect personally gives away your power. By choosing not to internalize others' negativity, you protect your peace, preserve your confidence, and maintain control over your emotions. Remember Eleanor Roosevelt's words, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. The next time someone disrespects you, pause, reflect, and remind yourself, this is about them, not me. By mastering this mindset, you'll navigate life's challenges with strength, dignity, and unwavering self-respect. Walk away when necessary. The power of walking away. Walking away from a situation where you are disrespected or undervalued is one of the most powerful statements you can make. It signifies self-respect, emotional maturity, and the strength to prioritize your well-being over the approval of others. Contrary to popular belief, walking away isn't a sign of weakness or giving up. It's a bold declaration that you refuse to tolerate disrespect. It's about recognizing that staying in toxic environments can erode your confidence, energy, and peace of mind over time. Why walking away is essential 1. Protects your mental and emotional well-being. Disrespect, especially when persistent, can chip away at your self-esteem and create a toxic emotional environment. Walking away allows you to distance yourself from negativity and regain your peace. 2. Sends a clear message. By walking away, you communicate that you will not accept being treated poorly. This sets a powerful precedent for how others interact with you in the future. 3. Creates space for growth. Leaving a toxic situation opens the door for healthier relationships, opportunities, and experiences. It allows you to refocus your energy on what truly matters. Personal story. Choosing myself. I once worked in an environment where a senior colleague regularly dismissed my ideas in meetings, often in front of others. Despite numerous attempts to address the issue, the behavior persisted. Over time, I realized that staying in that environment was taking a toll on my confidence and well-being. One day, after yet another dismissive comment, I decided to walk away. Not just from the meeting, but from the role entirely. Leaving was difficult, but it was also liberating. Within months, I found a new position where my contributions were valued, and I thrived both professionally and personally. Walking away wasn't just about leaving a job, it was about reclaiming my worth. How to walk away effectively. 1. Assess the situation. Before deciding to walk away, evaluate whether the situation is truly harmful or if it can be resolved. Ask yourself, have I communicated my boundaries clearly? Is the disrespect persistent and unchanging? Is staying negatively affecting my mental, emotional, or physical health? 2. Make a plan. Walking away can be emotionally and logistically challenging, especially if it involves leaving a job or ending a long-standing relationship. Having a plan ensures a smoother transition. Steps to prepare. Set clear goals. Identify what you hope to gain by leaving, such as peace, self-respect, or new opportunities. Establish a support system. Seek advice or emotional support from trusted friends, family, or mentors. Secure alternatives. If walking away involves leaving a job, start exploring new opportunities before making the move. 3. Communicate your decision, if necessary. In some cases, you may need to inform the other party of your decision to walk away. This can be done respectfully and calmly. Example: I value our relationship, but I feel that staying in this situation is no longer healthy for me. I've decided to take a step back to prioritize my well-being. 4. Commit to your decision. Walking away requires resolve. Once you've made the choice, avoid second-guessing yourself or allowing others to guilt you into staying. Mantra: walking away is not losing, it's choosing myself. Stoic perspective: the courage to walk away. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from valuing one's inner peace above external validation. Epictetus advised, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Walking away aligns with this philosophy by prioritizing what you can control, your response and environment, over the behavior of others. Marcus Aurelius echoed this sentiment. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Staying in an environment where you are disrespected or undervalued goes against this principle of living authentically and with integrity. Real-life historical example: Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential figures in media, made a bold decision early in her career to walk away from a toxic work environment. When she faced disrespect and a lack of creative freedom at a local news station, she left to pursue opportunities that aligned with her values and vision. This decision was pivotal in her journey to becoming a global media icon. By walking away, Oprah not only reclaimed her self-worth, but also opened the door to unparalleled success. Practical scenarios where walking away is necessary. 1. Toxic work environments. If your workplace consistently undervalues your contributions or fosters a culture of disrespect, consider seeking new opportunities where you can thrive. Example: a marketing professional, tired of being micromanaged and disrespected, begins applying for roles at companies with a reputation for employee empowerment. 2. Unhealthy relationships. Whether it's a friendship, romantic relationship, or family dynamic, staying in a relationship where you're disrespected can be emotionally draining. Walking away can help you regain your sense of self. Example: a woman decides to end a friendship with someone who constantly belittles her achievements, choosing to surround herself with supportive individuals instead. 3. Unproductive conflicts. Sometimes, walking away means removing yourself from a heated argument or confrontation that is going nowhere. Example: during a disagreement with a coworker, you calmly say, "Let's revisit this when we're both calmer," and step away. Emotional challenges of walking away. Walking away is not always easy. It can come with feelings of guilt, fear, or uncertainty. Here's how to navigate these emotions. Guilt. Remind yourself that prioritizing your well-being is not selfish. It's necessary. Fear of the unknown. Focus on the potential for growth and new opportunities. Second guessing. Write down the reasons for your decision and revisit them when doubts arise. The benefits of walking away. 1. Regained confidence. Leaving a toxic situation reinforces your self-worth and shows that you value yourself enough to demand better. 2. Peace of mind. Walking away removes you from the source of stress, allowing you to focus on what brings you joy and fulfillment. 3. New opportunities. Leaving opens the door to healthier environments and relationships that align with your values. Exercises to build the courage to walk away. 1. Visualize the outcome. Close your eyes and imagine what life will look like after you've walked away. Focus on the feelings of freedom, peace, and self-respect. 2. Write a goodbye letter. Even if you don't send it, writing a letter to the person or situation you're leaving can help you process your emotions and affirm your decision. 3. Practice small acts of letting go. Start by walking away from smaller situations, such as unproductive arguments or minor disrespect. This builds your confidence for larger decisions. Closing thought. Choosing yourself. Walking away isn't about giving up. It's about choosing yourself. It's a declaration that your peace, self-respect, and well-being are non-negotiable. As the saying goes, sometimes walking away is the only way to win. The next time you face a situation where disrespect or toxicity persists, ask yourself, am I staying out of habit, or is this truly serving me? If the answer is no, take a deep breath, gather your courage, and walk away. By doing so, you reclaim your power and pave the way for a brighter, healthier future. Surround yourself with supportive people. The importance of supportive relationships. No one thrives in isolation. The people we surround ourselves with significantly influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Supportive relationships act as a buffer against negativity, providing encouragement, validation, and a safe space to be ourselves. When dealing with disrespect or challenging situations, having a strong support system is not just helpful, it's essential. Supportive people remind you of your worth, offer constructive advice, and stand by you as you navigate life's ups and downs. Why supportive people matter. 1. They reinforce your self-worth. Supportive individuals help you see your strengths, especially during moments of doubt or insecurity. Their encouragement boosts your confidence and motivates you to keep moving forward. 2. They provide perspective. When faced with disrespect, it's easy to internalize the negativity. Supportive people offer an objective perspective, helping you see the situation clearly and avoid overreacting. 3. They inspire growth. Positive relationships challenge you to become the best version of yourself. Supportive friends and mentors push you to set goals, embrace challenges, and celebrate achievements. 4. They create a safe space. In a world that can sometimes feel harsh or judgmental, a supportive network offers a haven where you can share your thoughts and emotions without fear of criticism. Personal story. Finding my tribe. During a particularly challenging period in my career, I found myself doubting my abilities due to constant criticism from a superior. I felt isolated and began questioning my self-worth. It wasn't until I confided in a close friend that things began to shift. This friend listened without judgment, validated my feelings, and reminded me of my achievements. They also encouraged me to seek advice from a mentor who helped me develop strategies to address the issues at work. Over time, their support gave me the confidence to assert myself and take control of the situation. This experience reinforced the value of surrounding myself with people who uplift and encourage me. The qualities of supportive people. Not everyone in your circle may be truly supportive. To identify those who genuinely contribute to your well-being, look for these qualities. Empathy. They listen without judgment and make an effort to understand your perspective. Encouragement. They cheer for your successes and provide reassurance during setbacks. Honesty. They offer constructive feedback without being harsh or critical. Reliability. They are there when you need them, providing consistent support. Positivity. They bring light and optimism into your life, helping you focus on the good. How to build a supportive network. 1. Evaluate your current relationships. Take stock of the people in your life. Do they uplift and encourage you, or do they drain your energy? Focus on nurturing relationships with those who align with your values and contribute positively to your well-being. Exercise. Write down the names of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Next to each name, note whether they are a source of support or negativity. This can help you identify where to invest more energy and where to set boundaries. 2. Seek out like-minded individuals. Join communities, groups, or organizations that align with your interests and values. Whether it's a professional network, a hobby group, or a spiritual community, surrounding yourself with like-minded people fosters meaningful connections. Example: if you're passionate about personal growth, consider joining a book club focused on self-development, or attending workshops on mindfulness and emotional resilience. 3. Invest in quality relationships. Building strong relationships takes time and effort. Show genuine interest in others, listen actively, and reciprocate the support they provide. Tips for strengthening bonds. Schedule regular catch-ups, whether in person or virtually. Celebrate their achievements, no matter how small. Be there during difficult times, offering a listening ear or practical help. 4th, limit time with toxic individuals. While it's important to focus on supportive relationships, it's equally vital to distance yourself from those who consistently bring negativity into your life. This creates more space for positive interactions. 5. Consider mentorship. A mentor can be a valuable addition to your support system. They provide guidance, share wisdom, and offer objective insights to help you grow. How to find a mentor. Identify someone whose values and achievements you admire. Reach out with a clear request, such as, "I value your expertise in specific area, and would appreciate your guidance as I navigate specific challenge." Historical example: Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan. Helen Keller's journey from isolation to empowerment would not have been possible without the unwavering support of her teacher, Anne Sullivan. Sullivan's patience, encouragement, and innovative teaching methods helped Keller overcome immense challenges, enabling her to become a celebrated author, activist, and speaker. This partnership illustrates the transformative power of a supportive relationship. Sullivan's belief in Keller's potential gave her the confidence to achieve what many thought was impossible. How supportive people help. During disrespectful situations. 1. They validate your feelings. When you feel disrespected, supportive people remind you that your emotions are valid and that the disrespect is not a reflection of your worth. 2. They offer constructive advice. Instead of fueling your anger or frustration, they provide practical solutions to address the situation or move forward. 3. They remind you of your strengths. Supportive people help you focus on your positive qualities and past successes, reinforcing your resilience. They provide emotional relief. Simply venting to someone who listens without judgment can be incredibly cathartic and help you release pent-up emotions. The Stoic perspective. Surrounding yourself with good company. The Stoics believed that the people you associate with influence your character and mindset. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." Surrounding yourself with supportive people aligns with this principle, as these relationships foster mutual growth and upliftment. Practical exercise. The 5 People Rule. Write down the 5 people you spend the most time with and reflect on the following questions. Do they uplift or drain you? Do they inspire you to be your best self? Do they support your goals and values? Make a conscious effort to invest more time in relationships that align with your well-being, and reduce time spent with those who don't. The benefits of a supportive network. 1. Increased confidence. Having people who believe in you reinforces your self-worth and encourages you to take risks. 2. Better problem solving. Supportive individuals offer fresh perspectives, helping you navigate challenges with clarity and confidence. 3. Greater resilience. A strong network acts as a safety net during tough times, making it easier to bounce back from setbacks. 4. Enhanced happiness. Positive relationships contribute to a sense of belonging and joy, enriching your overall quality of life. Closing thought. Build your circle of strength. Surrounding yourself with supportive people is one of the most empowering choices you can make. These relationships not only provide a buffer against negativity, but also inspire you to grow, thrive, and achieve your goals. Remember, as the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose your company wisely. Nurture relationships that bring out the best in you, and watch as your life transforms for the better. Respect starts from within. Why? Respect begins with you. Respect is not something that others give you. It is something you cultivate within yourself. How you treat yourself sets the tone for how others will treat you. When you carry yourself with dignity, confidence, and self-worth, you naturally command respect from the world around you. Disrespect from others often feels like a direct attack, but the real question is, how do you respond? Do you let it chip away at your confidence, or do you stand tall, grounded in the knowledge of your intrinsic value? True respect begins with knowing your worth and refusing to tolerate anything less. Key takeaways from the journey. Over the course of this exploration, we've discussed 8 strategies to handle disrespect with grace, strength, and wisdom. Let's briefly recap these tools and how they interconnect with the idea of self-respect. Set clear boundaries. Boundaries protect your peace and define acceptable behavior, teaching others how to treat you. Don't engage in power struggles. Choosing calm over conflict preserves your dignity and prevents others from controlling your emotions. Limit exposure to toxic people. Surrounding yourself with positive influences reinforces your sense of worth. Respond with silence. Silence is a powerful response that demonstrates self-control and emotional strength. Don't take it personally. Recognizing that others' behavior reflects them, not you, allows you to detach and maintain confidence. Walk away when necessary. Prioritizing your well-being by leaving toxic situations is a profound act of self-respect. Surround yourself with supportive people. Positive relationships uplift and inspire, helping you stay grounded in your value. All these strategies revolve around one core principle. You are in control of how you allow others to affect you. Respect starts from within, and by practicing these strategies, you create an environment where disrespect has no room to thrive. The Stoic perspective. Mastering Self-Respect. The Stoics believed that external validation is fleeting, but inner respect lasts a lifetime. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In other words, how you perceive yourself shapes your reality. When you focus on cultivating self-respect, it reflects in your actions, relationships, and decisions. Epictetus added, "First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This underscores the importance of aligning your actions with the person you aspire to be. If you want to be respected, you must first respect yourself. Personal story: the turning point. I vividly remember a time when I struggled with self-respect. A close friend often made belittling remarks about my career choices. Instead of addressing the behavior, I stayed silent, hoping it would stop. But it didn't. Each comment chipped away at my confidence, making me feel small and inadequate. One day, after yet another remark, I decided to set a boundary. I calmly said, "I value our friendship, but I feel disrespected when you make comments about my career. I'd appreciate it if we could focus on supporting each other instead." That moment was a turning point. While the friend initially reacted defensively, they eventually apologized and adjusted their behavior. More importantly, I learned that respecting myself was the first step toward earning respect from others. Practical steps to cultivate self-respect. 1. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a close friend. Acknowledge your mistakes without harsh self-criticism, and celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Exercise. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you did well or are proud of. This reinforces positive self-perception. 2. Set standards for yourself. Define what respect means to you and hold yourself accountable for meeting those standards. When you live authentically and align your actions with your values, you naturally command respect. Example: if honesty is important to you, ensure that you communicate truthfully, even in difficult situations. 3. Invest in personal growth. Continuous learning and self-improvement not only enhance your skills and knowledge, but also boost your confidence. When you strive to be the best version of yourself, you reinforce your sense of worth. Suggestions for growth: read books on personal development or philosophy. Take up a new hobby or skill that excites you. Practice mindfulness or meditation to cultivate inner peace. 4. Celebrate your unique qualities. Comparison is the enemy of self-respect. Instead of focusing on what you lack, embrace what makes you unique. Your individuality is your greatest strength. Exercise. List 5 qualities or traits that you love about yourself. Keep this list where you can see it daily as a reminder of your value. Real-life historical example: Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela's life is a powerful testament to the strength of self-respect. Despite enduring 27 years of imprisonment, Mandela maintained his dignity, refusing to let his captors break his spirit. His unwavering self-respect not only inspired those around him, but also helped him lead South Africa toward reconciliation and unity. Mandela's story illustrates that even in the face of immense adversity, self-respect can be a guiding force that empowers you to rise above negativity and achieve greatness. The ripple effect of self-respect. When you respect yourself, it creates a ripple effect that influences every aspect of your life. In relationships, self-respect sets the foundation for healthy, balanced interactions. People are more likely to respect you when you value yourself. In career, Confidence in your abilities and boundaries earns you recognition and opportunities. In personal growth, self-respect motivates you to pursue your goals and embrace challenges with resilience. Embracing the journey. Cultivating self-respect is not an overnight process. It's a lifelong journey. Along the way, you'll encounter challenges and setbacks, but each step forward strengthens your foundation. Remember that self-respect is not about perfection, it's about progress. Every time you set a boundary, walk away from toxicity, or choose to surround yourself with positivity, you're reinforcing your worth. Final thought: the foundation of respect. Respect truly starts from within. It's the foundation upon which all other relationships and interactions are built. When you respect yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. The next time you face disrespect, pause and ask yourself, how does this align with the respect I have for myself? Let your inner respect guide your actions, and you'll navigate life with strength, dignity, and unshakable confidence. As you move forward, take these strategies to heart and make self-respect a daily practice. Surround yourself with supportive people, set boundaries unapologetically, and never settle for less than you deserve. By choosing respect, from within and from others, you pave the way for a life of fulfillment, growth, and empowerment. Let this journey be a reminder. You are worthy of respect, and it starts with how you see and treat yourself.